Hello there. Today I'm tasting a wine from Canada. This particularly is Peller Estate's Baco Noir from 2021, and this is a Cuvée wine from Ontario. Peller Estates have a history that goes back to 1927 when Andrew Peller first landed in Halifax. He'd come from Hungary, and over a period of years he built up wineries not only in Ontario. He started in British Columbia in the Okanagan Valley, had more wineries in Ontario, and also had a winery in Nova Scotia. So this is why the wine is referred to as Peller Estates rather than estate. Today, 4 generations on, it's still a family-owned company with holdings throughout Canada. The grape variety, Baco Noir, is again a little unusual. Unusual in as much as that it's a hybrid variety, and hybrid varieties don't often find their way into the production of quality wines because some hybrid varieties have quite a sort of a foxy, musky aroma that can actually be quite off-putting. Baco Noir, bred in the 1890s, 1894 by somebody called Francois Baco, was developed with the idea that the crossing between a Vitis riparia, whose origin is unknown, and Folle Blanche would actually provide a vine that was resistant to phylloxera. Subsequently, people decided that grafting was a better solution, but for a while this idea gained some traction, and Baco Noir was actually planted both in the Loire and in Burgundy. This is no longer the case, but it's been quite popular both in the United States, in the sort of the Finger Lakes area, the New York wine producing region, and also in Canada, certainly around the Great Lakes in places like Ontario, Niagara Peninsula, places like that, where the hardiness of the hybrid variety is really quite convenient. I don't know a lot about how this wine is made. I'm told it's oak aged. I'm told it has nearly 10 grams of sugar, so a relative sweetness for a red wine. So let's have a taste and see what we make of it, shall we? Looking at it, first of all, it's got a reasonable depth. It's not opaque, but a reasonable depth of a sort of a reddish purple hue there. Swirling it, it's not particularly, it is actually, it's forming reasonable tears. It's only 12.5% alcohol, so not doing too badly there, but vibrant reddish purple colour. The aromas do actually hint at that sort of slight muskiness. They're not pronounced. I mean, sometimes hybrid varieties can smell very, very foxy, but actually on this occasion there's just that sort of hint of it, and there are notes of spice suggesting there's a little bit of new oak there. There's a chocolatey note, there are cedary notes, and behind all that there's actually quite a sort of bursting red fruit, a sort of a purple red almost, ripe cherries, ripe dark plums, perhaps mulberries. But yes, there is quite a curious sort of vanilla and chocolate, but also that slight foxiness as well. But they're actually working quite well in harmony together there. So let's taste. Again, you've got that sort of chocolatey roundness. There's a richness. The wine is mid-weight. There's reasonable freshness, so there's a juicy nature to the fruit. So again, that sort of dark cherry, juicy dark plum sort of note. And actually there's a chocolatiness as well, as I say, that is both a texture and flavour, and is actually, to an extent, is hiding the slight foxiness in there. And there's that slight sort of maybe cinnamon, vanilla notes of spices there, leaving a slightly sweet, juicy, attractive finish. The sugar, the 9.5 grams of sugar, doesn't particularly show. I mean, I suppose it's leaving the finish quite jammy, but at first glance you might think that this was a completely dry wine. It's mid-weight, the tannins are really smooth, there's very little tannic grip at all. I mean, if anything, I would sort of put this along the lines of something like a quite commercial Pinot Noir. If you're talking of something like Meiomi or something like that, where it's got that little sort of round, jammy, fruity touch of sweetness, just to make it attractive, to stop it from being too astringent. The flavours are lasting well. There's nothing about this wine to object to. Certainly I've mentioned the fact it has some slight foxy notes, but they're not in any way off-putting. In fact, they're giving a little bit of spice and interest to the finish there. So yes, that was Peller Estate's Baco Noir Private Reserve 2021 from Ontario. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you find the video interesting. I hope perhaps you'll leave your comments, like and share the video, or possibly even sign up to follow our channel. Most importantly though, do please make the time to come and join us in another tasting very soon. Bye now.